Hello everyone and welcome back to the Atelier Nekuzuki vlog podcast. I'm not quite sure what to qualify this as anymore. This week we are doing some more organization and I'm totally cheating and just going to use a clip of me putting the bins on my new bin rack basically. Last time I got a video out to you guys, I had set up the shelf. This was the next step in organizing my studio. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends that you think might enjoy this. But basically what I'm doing is this is a really cheap wall bin organizer from Princess Auto. Like probably half the price of even what you can get on Amazon. Now, does that mean that the pegboard is a little bit, well, it's not really a pegboard. It's almost like a slat wall panel. But anyway, yeah. It's a little bit cranky when I go to put some of the bins on, and you will see that actually when I have to move them around a little bit so that they fit in better. But this was actually something that I had to put up in the old house to help take advantage of the vertical space in my room, but I never actually hung it up. I actually was considering selling it on until I started this recent organization and realized that it's actually the perfect thing to go on my walls. Yeah, so that one there, it was a little bit cranky. We'll see if this one goes on a bit better. Yeah. And they definitely get more secure as I actually put weight in them as well. Now, I did not film myself putting this one up, but I did film myself putting a second one up because, yeah, you can see me being like, hey, are you actually attached to this? I also figured out very rapidly that I had to do them from bottom to top, which you'll see when I do the red bins as well. Anyway, these are going to be holding my hardware. With Dallas moving out of the studio, this was my old computer desk, actually. Actually, we swapped the desks. So this was the desk that he was using, and then mine, which is also an L-shaped desk. They basically just swap sides of the room so that it fits better. And with the whole getting, I had to go into the desk to get bins because the kids knocked some of them off and were playing with them. But with him moving out of the space, I'm able to now use this as a hardware wall for the snap presses, which you can see down there in basically right in the middle of the screen, bottom middle. And it will hold the hardware for my straps and everything like that. So I will actually be showing me putting those in the bins once all the bins are up. So today is February 24th, 2023. And to be honest, I am thick in the February doldrums. It is minus 23 right now. When the kids and I got up this morning, it was minus 34. We had a foot of snow, guys. And I was expecting this, but this is the big drawback to a walkout basement, which is awesome for light. This filming that I'm doing right now is just with the overhead lights on and my blinds open there. So I've had to figure out and go, oops. But I had to go to going from the bottom to the top. I just figured that out instead of going horizontally. But a foot of snow, minus 34, it really doesn't work to get the kids out of the house, doesn't work to get me out of the house, and so we've all just kind of been in the doldrums. I've avoided them for the past few years, being busy with kids and a bunch of other stuff, but this year they have hit hard. Now, in the past, the best way that I've found to deal with these is to basically just take it slow and not beat myself up too much about it because there's not much I can do. I don't think it's quite SAD, seasonal depressive disorder. It's just doldrums. It's this last push in winter and it's time to not be in winter anymore. Dallas and I have actually discussed this in the past, that this is when we actually need to start traveling for Disney and stuff like that because we both need the break. But this year, I'm going to organize the studio because it needs to move past functional to being a little bit more optimized so that I can hopefully be more optimized because I don't end up having a lot of time to work with the kids around. Right now, they, as I'm setting this bin set up here, they are watching TV. The last 2 days concurrently, so the 22nd and 23rd, they were in what I lovingly call TV daycare, which is them watching TV as I actually work. And they are actually in day home right now, which I think is going to be so good. Felix has been really enjoying his, and Amelia is not day home. She's actually preschool / daycare, so that's going to be really good for her too. But yeah, we all need the move, and now I'm actually putting stuff into the bins. So with the move to making more purses, I am getting more zipper tape. So I've got zipper pulls, and then these are all rivets. I tried to take the label off the bag, but it didn't work. I do have to still go through and actually label all the bins to say what's in the bins. So, but little parts up in the little bins, and then big parts in the bottom bins, which are like D-rings and swivel hooks and stuff like that. And I still have the Crafter's Bane in my room. So the Crafter's Bane are those plastic towers, and I actually inherited mine from my grandma. There's one still in the garage, and there's one actually down in my fabric storage area, which is the bedroom in the basement. And I still don't know what to do with it. I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually clearing it out and taking it out of the fabric room and taking it upstairs and putting the kids' craft stuff in it. Why I call it the Crafter's Bane is it's like they are so useful and so useless at the same time. So like, yeah, I inherited mine. Tidy up a little bit. Kids were probably doing something. And then I was probably like, hey, climb on the box. Entertain yourselves with that. But I call them the Crafter's Bane because every time you get rid of one, you suddenly find a use for it. So my plan is not to get rid of them, but I do need to figure out a new space for them because they aren't working for what I need to work with, what they need to work for me to keep them in my studio. They were holding like that little plastic bin that's down in the very bottom middle. That is all the snaps for like the needle stashes and such. But honestly, now with this desk setup, they really can just sit on the desk. Now, why would I use one of these super cheap bin organizers? I got to use the vertical space in my room because I ended up actually condensing my yarn room and studio in this move, and I lost about 50% of my space. Plus, I lost a full wall to, like, I love the walkout basement, but I did lose a full wall to these windows and door. That's the magnetic snaps that I use. But so that what that means is I really do need to use my vertical space. So that's what the shelf is doing. It's amazing. I've been working off of it a little bit this week, and it was such a good move to put that there. And then this will actually be super useful when I'm going through and doing full production, because basically all of that hardware will just live there. That's where it happens. That's it. So now I have zones to what I'm doing. So I have my cutting zone, which has the rack, which has all the cutting stuff on it. I have my sewing zone, which I still need to kind of do a little table at behind me. But realistically, if I don't, I don't. Because setting up an ironing board and stuff like that here is actually useful as well. And then I have this like hardware station, which will be rivets and strap making and all of that, which is a really good setup, I think. So I'm just sorting all the hardware into the bins here. I've got gunmetal and I've got gold for most of the things for the swivel hooks. And then the D-rings, I have gunmetal, silver, black, gold, and a few iridescent as well. So, yeah. So I had these actually in refrigerator bins, which was really good, except, again, kids are in the studio. You can see their toys behind me, and they are not conducive to keeping things in their organized spots. So this will just be easier because it'll keep them away from them a little bit easier as well. It also allows me to like tuck these presses away without actually putting them away, which will be super useful. Oh, yeah, there's Amelia. She got caught in some ribbon. That's something that actually ended up going on the shelf, is the ribbon bins. Back there playing. So we're coming to the end of the organization. I'm probably just having a look around to see if there's anything else to put in here. And I have done a bit more tidy up since this video as well. I did what I called a pathway clear after, like, in the evening after this, and it helped a lot. The kids have destroyed it, so I'm going to have to do it again, but you know, it is what it is. Thread. I have also recently put locks on all of my thread drawers so that they can't get into them and pull stuff out. But this week I am also working on some new product. I'm working on actually the Harrelson belt bag from Noodlehead Designs, which is super awesome. I'm also working on getting the wallet, the necessary clutch wallet, sorted out so that I can put those into production as well. I always like to prototype my things before I put them out, because then I can screw it up and really it doesn't matter, because I'm not putting that pressure on myself that it has to be perfect the first time, because they rarely are, and that just leads to complete demotivation. So we're going to wrap up here. I'm just moving. That was the box that I stored some of my stuff in while I was doing the major prep for Edmonton Fiber Frolic. Clearing it out. And there's some leather tabs. I actually used a skiver for the first time the other day, and it was amazing. Basically, I was able to take down the height of the leather so that I can sew over it easier with my actual sewing machine. My sewing machine goes through a lot, but 2 layers of the leather that I was using proved to be a test. Okay, I probably had to take care of something with the kids. But I love it. I love how this studio is now coming together. By the way, that pink shelf in the left there with the wig head on it is actually a Calyx, and it was like that wall was made for it. It's insane. Yep, 100%. The kids are doing something. I was probably also checking to see if I ended up with anything else I needed to add in. So just, that is an over-the-door hanger for my iron and ironing board. And then I'm all done. So that's the story time. I'll do a pan over of the actual rack here in a moment. And then I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and I will try to get another video up for you next week. Thanks. And here's the pan over of what I put into these bins. So as you can see, D-rings, then I also put zipper. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you all have that fantastic week. If you like, please subscribe here and check out another video. Thanks.